Proud to be alive. If you can't do that,
it's not something that you can just make up about yourself. You have to be able to show that you are as strong as you say you are. Especially if you're competing in strongman.
It's good. Just checking. It's good. All right, just checking.
Yeah, that seems all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, friends, listeners, enemies.
Frenemies?
Probably more of that than anything else. Actually, welcome to episode. This is 70.
69.
69. Oh, even
Can't
better.
skip that one.
Can't skip that one. Even better. Episode 69.
Speaking of 69,
holy fuck, where
so
is
my
this
dad
going?
has a 69 Mustang.
Okay, that's that's went a much better direction than I was hoping it was going to go. Please, do you actually have something you want to say about that? Or?
No.
Okay.
But he does have a 69 Mach 1 space car.
Does he really?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. You guys have a lot of. You guys are a classic car family. Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm actually putting a new motor in my car that starts Friday.
Oh yeah, sick.
Yeah, which I've just done because I already put a new motor in 3 years ago.
Which is that one of the ones that we deadlifted in any of the
Yeah,
competitions?
yeah, my 68 Fairlane. So that's the maroon looking
the
car.
burgundy kind of. Yeah. That's
so
cool.
I got that car in a barter deal. I did a guy's cabin, and he's like, "I need softened fascia and a roof," and I'm like, and he opens his door, and I'm like, "Cool car." What are you doing with that? He's like, "Nothing." I'm like, "Do your roof, trade you for the car."
Sweet.
So I got the car, and I put a new motor in. It doesn't do what I want it to do, so I went and bought another motor last year. One of my impulse buys. You know, usually when I get depressed, I just buy something, which is pretty stupid because I should be better with my money. And
the key is to not have any money, then you just can't buy anything.
maybe, yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah, so I just went out and bought this motor and a transmission, which I spent way too much money on.
Yeah.
But a buddy of mine's going to put it on. Start Friday, we got to, the motor was, I think, almost the cheap part to what all the modifying has to do this car to get, because I'm going from a small block car to a big block motor.
Whoa.
So the new motor's on the dyno, cause I got the dyno slips with it. It's a new motor, but they dynoed it. It's 534 horse and just shy of 600 foot-pounds of torque. So that'll be. I know you know what that is.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep, absolutely. I know. I know what all those numbers mean
So
and
I
all
got-
those words are
yeah.
too. Dyno, definitely. I
Yeah.
definitely got that one.
I got to change my rear end to a Ford 9-inch. I got, yeah. So that's going to go in. So I'm excited for that.
Well, as long as you're happy. That's what.
Well,
because
because right now, every time I get mad at my wife, I'm like, "You going to race? Like, you going to race for pink slips?" But her Durango with the Hemi and stuff and the exhaust is faster than any vehicle I own. So I can't race my wife for pink slips. She'll own every vehicle I have. So I got big dick in my house all the time.
That's very funny.
What, are we going to pull up my diesel? Like, my Suzuki Samurai?
I like that. The Suzuki Samurai, that's a vehicle that I wasn't aware of until I saw you pull it out for some arm over arm training.
Which was way too light.
It is a really cool little fucking thing, though. It's like there's no way that's much heavier than like a golf cart.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Like it's so small and so light and so funny.
Speaking of golf cart, keep talking.
Okay, but that's one of the benefits that people get when they come and do like a Manitoba strongman competition is that when we do say like a car deadlift, like so often you're just kind of pulling whatever the person has available to them, whatever the owner drives around. And that's what we have here in Manitoba too. But fortunately for us, the owner's driving around these fucking crazy classic cars. So we get to have pretty cool fucking photos that we end up with.
Check this out. And I'll run the podcast, but that's my hood to my golf cart.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It's a bear. So for everyone who's not
I
aware,
don't know if you guys zoom in on the picture.
a roaring grizzly bear.
I got Uncle D's airbrush my whole golf cart.
That's sick. That looks
Another
really
one
cool.
of my barter deals.
Nice.
He's like, I need a window in my garage, some soft fish. I'm like, I need airbrushing, which I don't.
Which you
But
absolutely not need.
yeah, he already did my door, my bike, my pinstripe, my bike.
I need my golf cart to have a bear on it.
Well, he's like,
otherwise I
so
won't be able to enjoy
yeah.
my summer.
So I'm usually not, and screw you if you think I am. I'm usually not one of those one-up-me guys. I'm just not like, I don't give a shit.
Okay.
I just like nice things.
Yeah. I'm not arguing with you.
So we were at the cabin it was last summer. And my brother ordered a lift kit for his golf cart, like Kyle.
Okay.
And
A lift kit for his golf.
yeah, 5-inch lift and 12-inch rims and tires and whatever else. They decked out the golf. It's
like
just
things you do with your golf cart.
yeah. So at the cabin, everybody has golf carts. So I've got just my golf cart I bought from my grandpa after he passed away. It's just a plain old golf cart, like my plain wife and my plain house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so they pull up him, my buddy Mike, and my buddy Jeff, and I guess they all put lifts and tires in their golf carts. And they pulled up to my cabin, pointed at my cart with me standing there, and then made fun of her for how stupid it looks next to their carts.
To be clear, to live in a world where people are making fun of your go-kart is like not something that most people experience.
So I was
your little bitch go-kart, your little pussy baby go-kart.
golf cart.
Golf cart,
Yeah.
sorry,
So-
golf cart.
I was trying to get hydraulics on this thing because I'm like, I'm gonna one up them.
Put it in three-wheel motion. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty cool,
I'm one upping them. So they ordered 5-inch lift kits. So I'm in the process of finishing my 6-inch lift kit.
Naturally.
They all put in 12-inch rims, so I bought 14s. Then I did all new seat covers, and then Uncle D's airbrush, and you got to look them up.
It does look. We'll have to get a picture
dude.
of that posted on the Instagram because it does look really cool.
Well, it's done tomorrow. So no, the whole cart's being done with wolves and bears and cougars and and I'm not talking about my wife.
No, naturally.
And
no.
so, anyways, Uncle D's like, well, I need to airbrush something to like daily. He's like, I owe you this money. I'm like, well, I got nothing left to airbrush. So how about my golf cart?
Is that with the top of my head?
Yeah, maybe I should.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah. So he's like, he's doing this extravagant painting. So now I have. So yeah, I'm one up in the mall.
And you will win that.
You damn right I'll win.
Fight. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
even looked at a new motor.
So you mentioned Danielle, and I was going to say that I narrowly avoided catastrophe when she was like, we were at the gym. We were at your gym on Saturday, I believe it was, right?
Yep, Saturday.
We were getting some lifting done in there, and it was another good group that came out there with us. And I saw Danielle was in the gym, and she was carrying a couple plates in her hands. And I was about to comment, like, see, like, you just got to give her some time. She'll find the time. She'll get back in the gym, and she'll start working out. And then I realized that she was just putting away other people's weights, and, it was in fact not working out. So she's gonna hear this, and I'm sorry, but I'm glad that I didn't make an ass of myself, at least in front of her in person.
Like I do regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we did get out there for anybody who's interested. We got one more. This is gonna come out on Saturday. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing one more day out at St. Malo. I'll be doing one more. Guys can go out there whenever they want
Like
to.
Sunday you're going?
Sunday, yeah. We're going to do one more little day trip out there, and I believe that me, Martin, Jeremy, Anna, probably Thrones, and anybody else who wants to come.
What time are you coming?
TBD. What time do you think?
Well, because what you should do is come early.
We can do that.
Yeah?
Sure.
And
Well, what's early? What are you talking about?
Like you should be there by 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah? Perfect. Because at 10:30, both my daughters are getting baptized.
Oh, really? In the gym?
No, at church.
I would come to that.
Would you?
Well,
So
why not?
10:30 this Sunday, both my daughters getting baptized.
Really?
In Grunthal.
Because I actually, if you would have said in the gym, I would have believed you. Because
Yeah,
your gym,
well, because we had a
your gym
church
is
there.
kind of a church.
Yeah,
right?
it was
So,
there. Yeah, Until Mike moved away, they shut the church down. But yeah,
Wow, that's really nice.
yeah, both. So if anybody's bored,
Hey, there you go. That's
10:30
it.
Sunday morning, Grunthal Bond Life Fellowship by the Feed Mother in Grunthal. It's a big church there.
Is that a thing that you invite people to, or is it just like is it just like an open thing?
It's open, so the whole congregation will be there anyways. They're doing a baptism. There's 4 people getting baptized. So one of my Cadence wanted to get baptized, my youngest. She's like, Dad, I want to get baptized. I'm like, oh, dude.
That's not a thing that you've already done with your kids.
No, that's Catholic.
Oh.
So Catholic, they'll baptize at birth. In the Protestant and Christian, like you get baptized when. So I got baptized actually when I was 12. 'Cause I thought I was never going to encounter life, but whatever. You get baptized. The Bible says repent and be baptized. So you change your life, you be baptized. So my daughter's Caden's asked, well, like she reads her Bible and I just my kids are good kids compared to their dad, and I'm a struggling Christian, but
you
they're
couldn't even read it.
dude, they're pretty. Yeah, yeah, I couldn't even see straight. And kids like I want to get baptized. Like, so we've sort of pushed our fall, but she's like, no, Dad, I really need to take my next step, show my
He's like,
obedience.
Dad, I hang out with you every weekend. I could go.
Dude.
I could go at any
No,
moment.
dude, there's more to the story because it's.
I'm driving around with you in the fucking golf cart doing all
I'm
kinds of crazy
I'm gonna be
shit.
so red faced up there. It's gonna be bad. So kids like I want to take my next step in my obedience. God, I want to get baptized. So sure, and Morgan wants to as well. So then so the way it works with us is we baptize in water. So in a tank of water you get dunked, and it's your baptism, and you do a testimony. So Morgan doesn't want to say her testimony. Morgan's just a little shyer than Cadence is, sure. And but they want me in the tank with both of them. They want me in there with the pastor. Put them under the water, which is pretty cool as a dad. That's pretty special.
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
So Morgan writes her testimony, and she does a video of it yesterday. She's like, "I'm going to do a video of my testimony because then we can play it in the church, and she doesn't have to talk."
Right.
So I'm listening to the testimony to make sure like just nothing. She buys the biggest bus in the world and just runs her dad over in that testimony. Like, I'm listening to this thing yesterday, and I try. I'm like, be honest, because I know I haven't always been a great person, and my language is the problem. And my kids, since they were young, have been always calling me on my language. You need to stop swearing, Dad. So in her testimony, she's like, yeah, I grew up, and my parents they believed in God. And like Danielle's always been a really good Christian. I've always kind of struggled with life. And she's like, yeah, my dad, he swears a lot. And I'm like, I'm listening to this, like, I'm going to be in front of my whole church. And she just, like, he swore a lot, and it affected my Christian. I'm like, oh, man.
Oh God.
Wow, this is And then she's like, but he's doing better lately.
But he's trying.
Yeah,
God
and I'm
bless him.
like,
He's trying.
Oh, this is gonna be great, man. But no, 10:30 in the morning. If you guys want to come, 10:15.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure we can make that happen.
To me, it's pretty special.
Yeah.
My families will come and friends. I got people from the city. It's a cool moment for me as a dad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe, what if we show up like post workout with all of our fucking chalky
Just
sweaty
10,
gear and
15?
stuff? Yeah.
Man, says the Bible, come as you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What I was actually kind of thinking there while you're saying that with 2 weeks is that we could probably find a way to tie in. We got a lot of sinners in our group here in Strongman here, and we could find a way to tie in the dunk tank that you guys do at Deadlift for Dreams
Into a
with some
baptism.
sort of baptismal routine, and then
Hey,
we
man.
can be saving souls.
My buddy Mwande, you'll
Yeah.
meet him on Sunday.
Yeah?
He's a crazy feller. You might catch you at the church.
Well, we are going to head out to Devin's place on Sunday. We're going to get a little bit more. I'm going to get my last session in before Magnus. And if anybody's interested, there's a little bit of crossover between that and provincials. And we're also going to be just doing provincial stuff out there. We had a really good group last time doing.
That was a big group.
A big group. We had Brickhouse people out there. We had Training Grounds. We had Iron Age.
The Forge.
The Forge is out there. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to no-sell the Forge there. Yeah.
And Iron Image.
Yeah.
Dude, we had people from everywhere.
Wait, Iron Image.
No, Langler wasn't out there?
No.
Any of them? No, screw you, Iron Image.
Yeah, fuck you, Iron Image. You weren't there at all. You're not part of this with us.
He probably texted me, I'm sorry I can't make it, but screw you, Langler.
Because he actually did text me, and I told him, I was like, I'm not going to be doing a lot of my own, because he asked if we were doing Magnus stuff.
Yeah.
And I said I won't be doing very much of that at all. And I was true to my word. I got 2 sets done the whole time I was.
Yeah,
there.
that's everyone's like, oh, Devin, are you training with us? No.
Yeah, no.
Because I can't.
Just being realistic, it's not going to happen.
I already can't focus on the best days and then helping people.
Yeah.
And you did more of the helping on the Viking than I did, so I appreciate that.
Oh, it's just we're all standing out there. And we but we'll have a little more time this time. So if anybody's interested, please come out and check that out with us, because it's just more fun with more people, you know.
Yeah.
And that does reach a cap, but
Yes.
But we kind of split the group. We kind of split the group between Conan's Wheel and Vikings Press, so it wasn't.
And we had Yoke going.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was like overcrowded anywhere or anything.
It went good.
Speaking of provincials, we're getting ever nearer to that one, which is going to be kind of like the punctuation on the strongman season. We have more things coming up through Strong Manitoba and stuff. But when we're talking like pure strongman, that'll be the end of the season for us, which is like kind of crazy. Because by this time last year, we were really in the swing of planning nationals.
Well, and next year it'll be even better. Like Magnus show next year, that's going to be part of Strong Manitoba.
Yeah, okay.
I'm done hosting stuff on my own. I just don't have the mental capacity for it anymore. I need my boy Tyler in this stuff.
It really, when me and Devin do a Strong Manitoba competition, we really make sure that we're proud to put our stamp on it. And I think that when you see like some other people put on shows and stuff, you can really see that there's like a learning curve.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard to do on your own.
I've been doing it before Nationals 2022. That's when me and you wrote in Thunder Bay, and we're like, and I said I will only run Nationals because at the time Paul was a rep for Strongman Corp, and he took the rep. Just thinks at the time, I don't know if for one I never got asked at the time, and two I think that was old Max and Sam knew in the province.
They just knew him from him competing.
So he took the thing, which thank goodness someone did, because he hosted the comp too.
Someone had to do it, yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm like, I can't run this comp without Tyler.
Yep.
And so you became a rep. We started Strong Manitoba as a company.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing shows on my own. Before that, I did them all by myself, like me, Danielle, and Janae and Brian, like my group. And I'm just
but there was less competitors.
Dude,
there was less competitions in the season. There was less demand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm feeling it now with I'm growing businesses and real estate, and then I want to still give back to the sport because I love the sport.
Right.
And it's like I can't.
Right.
I don't have the mental. And as you could tell, like I'm burning out a bit this year. I'm like I'm burning out a bit.
Right. But it's a high demand thing for putting on any kind of competition. Like I went to the WRPF meet that Cornerstone hosted a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's like you just see it from someone else's perspective too, where it's like, man, they had to move their whole fucking gym around.
Yeah.
They had to shut down for the day. They had to have all the stuff. And credit to Cornerstone, because they had the lights, they had the smoke, they had the curtains, they had everything just like that. Just made it look like a really nice professional. Competition, and it really that doesn't happen by accident. And
you can and because you've been in it, the amount of work, the physical lifting, everything sucks in strongman.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the easiest thing to lift is the freaking table to set up for your live stream. Like
right,
everything sucks.
Well, even
everything is heavy.
When we you can see the gym behind us here. I don't know if you can see you over the windowsill. Not really. But we have like all of our benches here. We used to have all of our dumbbells there. We have all of our equipment. And when we just move it for our once a year log competition, like that's a lot, man. It feels like a lot. And it's just like I need help and we need volunteers. And
I still haven't emptied the trailer from Vita.
I mean, you might as well.
My
not
whole
now.
trailer's full.
You might as well
It's
leave it alone now.
still full. I went into this weekend when you guys were all there,
Yeah.
and I was grabbing bumper plates, get back in the. I loaded up my side by side, drove
Yeah.
them out for the yoke. I'm like, okay, what's on the yoke? Then whoever's using the yoke will bring it back in my gym.
Yes.
I can get them back in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I went and got the throwing apparatus last time, and I was like by myself in there trying to get stuff out, and I was just like, it's so hot in that trailer, and I was just like dying.
brutal,
That
dude.
was one of those
It's
really
brutal.
brutal like 30+ days, and it was
Yeah.
it was a tough one. But just know that when you see somebody put together a competition, especially when it's happening inside of their gym, I want to say that too specifically. That shit does not happen by accident.
No.
It's a ton of work, and just like the loading and unloading and all that stuff. And
It is rewarding.
yeah.
Like I'm good at the day of making sure things run. Yada yada. I have no interest in the promotion,
Right.
in the raising money,
Right.
and you know that.
Yeah.
Because even if I didn't tell you, you told me. Like, Devin, you suck at this. Like, I don't like raising money. I don't like dealing with all that shit. You and Thrones have taken over the live stream, the getting money, getting sponsors. You guys, that's where you excel.
Yeah.
I would say that would be you excel, and I excel the day of.
But it wouldn't be useful if we were both good at the exact
Well,
same
exactly.
things and bad,
Yeah.
bad at the same things.
Yeah.
Here, I'll ask you a question though. Would you rather, if you were putting on a competition, would you rather do it in your gym where you have to move everything around and shift things and make things like suitable for a viewing audience and all that stuff? Or would you rather load up a trailer, haul the shit somewhere else, set it up, load it up, unhaul it again?
I'd way rather haul.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Because it's yeah. Well, I shouldn't. The novice comp is a pretty easy setup.
But we make that on purpose.
Yeah,
Easy setup,
yeah. That's
you
a pretty.
know,
But
like-
if you have to do a day, I mean, it's. I mean, the hauling sucks too because it's heavy. It's in the trailers. The
Right,
trailers get beat
right.
up. You haul, you unload, you load. It's a long day in the heat. But I just love the fairs too, though.
I like just being out and around the people and stuff.
Like
you
the
know what I
different
mean?
different towns. Like
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
hopefully we've been talking about it for a couple years, and Lane's still trying to get a show in Roblin next year.
Right, yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah.
And we've never done a show up north.
No, I really would like to do one, even if we went like, you know, it doesn't like Roblin and Dauphin's probably about as far north as you'd want to go.
Yeah.
Because getting past that, we're talking about like a real trip for some people.
Yeah.
But I would love to do one that caters more to our northern people and also just gives us a different venue, a different
Well,
avenue.
do
to
you know
compete,
anything about this Jamie Musso?
I have met him.
I started
before.
following him.
Yeah, I've met him before.
I
and-
see he has Moose Strongman rentals. He wears a hat, Moose Strongman, and I seen a post a little while ago, last week, and he was doing like a circuit of strongman shows on the reserves. I think from what I'm
Oh,
seeing,
wow.
I'd like to see what I see. Nothing. I can't. I've been looking it up online trying to find even some reference to any comps. Because if he has that stuff, I think I would gladly promote it on the strongman page.
sure.
And like,
Yeah.
you know, we talk about strongman, but really strongman's south of Winnipeg,
South
south of Gimli.
Winnipeg and south. Yeah,
Yeah,
south
like-
of Gimli. Yeah, that's a good way to
So
put it. I
if there's
guess.
a guy doing it up north and he needs some exposure,
We would love
reach
to.
out.
Yeah. Hey, if he happens to listen or if anybody knows him, please tell him to get in contact because we.
Even unsanctioned. Brickhouse do an unsanctioned show. Good
Yep,
for them.
Yep.
It hits a demographic of people that just want to do a for fun show and not feel the pressure
Absolutely.
of competing with us big dogs.
Yeah, the big boys.
Just kidding. That's why I
Yeah,
don't compete.
we're happy to work with anybody who's doing something and we I think it's easy for it to feel like Strong Manitoba is like everything in Manitoba and it's not. We're
No.
not. Like there's like you said there's the Brick House that's running their own competition that's completely independent of us,
Yep.
which is September 13th.
Yes.
September 13th,
Yeah.
they're having their competition. They
The
just
weekend
started-
after
the
Deadlift
Deadlift
Dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they've just started announcing their details for that and stuff, and the registration is open. So if you're looking for another one-off competition this season,
that
hey,
you don't
why
need
not-
an SEC membership.
Yeah, why not give it? Why
And
not
the
give that one
season,
a shot?
if you're not going to nationals, yeah, why not support?
Yeah,
Go for it.
Go give it a shot.
fun.
Just see how it is.
Paul always does a good job of. He gets some kid like Hooters or someone.
Yeah, they'll
they
be
cater all the
food
food, and he does a good job of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's in the city, which is nice. That doesn't happen all too
Yeah.
often.
yeah, Popeyes sponsors their stuff and always has good goodie bags.
Yep.
Um,
It's going to be it's like I said, it's not super often that you get to keep it inside the city limits and have a competition. So if that's worth something to you, by all means, drop
Yep.
in there and see what that was all about.
Yep.
If not, just come out and hang out and check it out.
And it's just doing 2 weight classes too.
Yeah, over under. Yeah, the old school way.
Yeah, the
Hey,
old school
yeah,
over under.
yeah.
One for women over under. It used to just be women.
Yeah,
And then over under.
Yeah, they have a one little addition for them,
Yeah.
which is nice. So they're running their own events, and then we have apparently we have this Jamie gentleman who's running his own series of events up north and
That's
stuff.
what I'm seeing.
I think it's great to hear that, and don't forget, of course, we have the Manitoba Strongman Association who's doing all kinds of huge things in the province.
Oh, the not for profit.
Just kidding. Everyone's doing great. We'll just say that everyone's doing great. But it's nice, and it's important, I think, to keep in mind too, because let's use that MSA thing for example. Is that when they started popping up and they had their Instagram and stuff, people thought that was us because they associate Strongman in Manitoba with both of us, which obviously from a branding standpoint is fantastic. That's exactly what we want. But it is worth mentioning too that we are not like Strongman is not like CrossFit where we own a trademark on it or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's anybody who wants to put it on can put it on. And we at Strong Manitoba, if you reach out to us, we're happy to help, lend advice. Devin is falling back a little bit on the help that he's willing to offer from past years, and that's a very deliberate choice. But we are happy to rent out equipment.
I was gonna say, if guys ever want to put a show, I would rent my equipment out.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's much more affordable than buying it. I'll tell you that right now. So if you want to rent the equipment, if you want to have a experienced referee or MC, or if you want to use our streaming services, like Thrones is available for. Yeah,
you can hire our streaming service.
Yeah, these are all things that are available, and
even powerlifting meets.
Yeah,
powerlifting meets could contact us.
Yeah,
and hire us to run a live stream.
Absolutely, and they should.
Yeah,
because Thrones is a guy where he's got it all figured out, and like that, there was just a competition out west there, and it was those same guys who had things to say about our stream for nationals.
Weird.
That's all I'm gonna say. But there was no stream for it, and they said it wasn't in their budget, which is weird because you shouldn't be trying to cut corners and save money on the stream, right? We all know that, don't we? Well, remember that conversation, don't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, but here's
that was a pretty petty conversation.
Yeah, it sure was. But here's the real talk on that, is that Thrones is a guy where he is just trying to get out there and help strength sports grow. And he said before that he will come there with the equipment and run a stream for the cost of you getting them there and putting them up for the night if that's necessary.
Yeah.
And that's fucking cheap, man. We're talking like that's, if you're in Regina or whatever, that's $500 for a fucking stream.
Yeah.
If you're in Edmonton, you can fly somebody out there for a couple $100 and get them a hotel night. Now we're talking about $500-$600 for a stream. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of value in being able to get your stuff out there a little more. So that's our little cheap plug to get Thrones because he just does such a great job, and I want more people to take advantage of that because I wanted to watch the competition that was happening out west. It sounded like it was really exciting.
I used to never watch shows.
Yeah,
I really didn't. I love the sport, but I've never been like even hockey when I have Jets tickets. I don't go. Right. I don't. Besides the odd boxing, I really enjoy the art of boxing. I don't watch a lot of shit. I don't follow. This last year, I tried watching your show as much as I could. The live stream there, Westerns. I've been trying to actually watch shows. Maybe I'm getting older. I'm just kind of trying to relax a little bit. Yeah. But I want to, and especially now that I know more of the guys and the pros, I want to actually see how things are going.
Sure.
That sucks because I guess we've been spoiled with having a live stream,
right?
Or a live score sheet at least to follow.
Yeah.
Like after West, I still haven't found a score sheet.
No, it's and that's the thing is that if it's easy to watch, people will watch it.
Yeah.
If it's watchable, people will watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like Thrones does a good job of making it watchable. And I like I said, there was no stream of this. I'm not even trying to be a dick. I can't remember the name of the competition. K-Days?
Like this weekend was K-Days, I think. Because there was Devin Strongest. Mosaic is this weekend?
Yeah. It was in Alberta.
Yeah.
And
I think it was
run by
it was
ASA
K-Days.
and it looked like it was a really awesome competition. Like
well, ASA out there, which is the MSA of Alberta.
Yeah.
The guys behind it, I think, are from what I understand, are good guys.
Yeah, I'm sure, and they
put on a nice show.
Yeah, it looked like it was like a really big stage it was on in the middle of some
other
Viking
bigger press.
I'm like, their Viking press looks amazing.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I'd hate to set up and clean up that thing.
Yeah, man, that looks like you need like a fucking crane.
They put on a great show. They put on a great show.
Yeah.
Devin Strong. So ASA out there. So if they are moving into Manitoba, I'd like to chat with. I did reach out to them.
I don't think they're moving into anywhere. I think that was a move to be like, hey, look, we're in everywhere, and that's
maybe
it helps them to spread their influence, whatever. But I don't think it's actually going to do much. But
nonprofit sucks. Capitalist.
But they put on what looks to be a great show, and I would like to see it. And it's really a shame that to me it seems like a very, very easy. We're a little spoiled because Thrones is so available to us.
We got lucky. Yeah.
But it's just like people want to watch it, and we have a little group chat with the Western pros in it, and we're all following a score sheet that Jeffers is like screen capping and putting in there because that's all we could watch. And we have guys like Larson who won, who had a fucking great day that day, by the way. Like looked like he just had a stellar competition. And Colton, who came in a very near second, and I think that the only reason that he got second was he got a slide penalty on his Zurcher.
Oh shit!
Which would be a real kick in the ass, but I mean that's the rules.
The way she goes.
Them's the rules, right? And Ryan Jabs, who's coming back from a back injury, like a very, very long-term back injury, to get on the podium and get third place to those two really, really talented strongmen. That's shit that I want to see.
Yep. I
want to watch that stuff. So I'm really hoping that we can kind of get, as a whole, like all Western Canada strongmen, because I think that more people than ever want to watch it. So,
well, we got the Magnus coming up in 2 weeks. We got to get somebody on the podcast that's competing.
Yeah. That'd
maybe
be a good idea.
Maybe Colton wants to jump on.
Yeah,
I've chatted with him in the past.
If he's in town and we can make it happen, I would love to do that. And whoever's staying in the city, I guess, would be the real question, right? But we'll figure something like that out. If oh my god, if anybody's listening to this and you're going to be in the city the day or two before the competition, let us know if you're competing, and we'll sit down and have a chat with you.
Yeah.
But we speaking of like westerns and the bigger shows that we have in Canada coming up. We have North America's Strongest Man coming up this weekend, I believe it is.
Yeah, this weekend.
Fuck.
July 25th.
That's awesome. That's going to be such a huge
I think
show.
25th. Right? We're doing the 24th? No, so it's this weekend, I think.
Uh-oh.
Before we get to that.
Let's you get to that, and I'm going to look up the thing.
Jeremy Wiens, realtor.
Realtor, not the other one.
Not the other one. Doesn't know it's a realty company. It's just a regular fellow like us.
Yep.
Every time.
25th of July.
Yes, that's tomorrow. Speaking of 25th of July, list your house tomorrow. Jeremy Wiens, realtor.
On the 25th of July.
Yeah. Big plug. He's a better sponsor now since January. Still doing his thing, selling houses. He's doing great work. He's
just the man, and he's a guy we've said it before that he'll be at provincials helping out. From what it sounds like, he brings his boys along to help out too.
Yep.
It's a family affair. They put their money where their mouth is when it comes to. They don't just give us the sponsorship on this podcast. That's plenty. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That's really all that we need.
Yeah.
But they also do more than that, and they show up to competitions. They help out. They lend a hand.
And he brings people with to watch, to support. He shares everything.
Hopefully the two young Wiens sons, maybe they're considering jumping in the competition sometime.
Well, they're boxing.
They're boxing.
They started boxing at Eastman.
God damn that sport.
Yeah, I went out with them. The one young kid I think wants to get into competitive.
Well, tremendous. As long as they're doing something, that's great. But Jeremy Wiens is the man. He's the guy to talk to for any kind of realty questions, buying, selling, consulting, whatever you might have.
He puts the same amount of work in helping us he does in real estate. He's balls to the wall, as we would say in the country. What do you guys say in the city?
We say
like the balls used to have you cut off to the wall.
I was gonna say I don't know. I'm not fast enough for that one, but something disgusting that you would hate for sure. That's what we say in the city for sure. But we really want to thank Jeremy for his involvement in our podcast. And in strongman in Manitoba in general, he's the man. I don't know. There's not much else to be said
pulling
about him.
All the stops.
Yep.
Speaking of pulling out, so I was with the wife last night, and I yelled out. I yelled at President Biden, and she knew that I'd be pulling out last second.
I think that there's some funny business going on with all that stuff.
Dude, that's some crazy shit.
Yes, we don't need to get into a strongman podcast, but there is something fishy about that whole thing. I'll tell you that right now.
It doesn't. Yeah. Yeah, there's some it's like JFK all over again. So I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not American.
I'm glad, honestly, dude, I'm glad I'm not American too.
And I love Americans.
Yeah. It's
the opposite of Terry Rady. I'm more on the Republican side of things.
Yeah, but I mean,
I listen to all his stuff too. Look, he's got a lot of good perspectives.
I don't know. Like, it's like, dude, like if I think it's easy to be sort of like semi-conservative in Canada, even because it's just like it's a little less nonsensical.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about down there, it's just like it's turned into such a fucking reality show that like.
Well, I was drinking with some dudes from Texas last weekend after my net where Danielle pulled me at the bar.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Was that last weekend? Haven't you told me that?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and I was talking to some people from Texas, and they were trying to move up here.
Right.
So I'm like, what do you want in Canada?
Well, it's like,
we think we're going to be in a civil war soon enough. I'm like.
But even if
dude was in the military.
Even if you're like a conservative dude and you're like, I like Trump, whatever, that's all good. It's like he just picked a vice president that has expressed a disdain for Trump and all his supporters and stuff. And it's like, so now you got to vote for this guy that you like with somebody that you hate. And it's just like nothing.
It's weird.
Nothing can just be simple down there. You know what I mean?
I think when people think you support Trump or you support Biden, and it's the same thing with like I'm conservative. I'd be obviously very pro Poilievre and anti Trudeau, but it's not that just like. are a premier now with Wob Canoe. I'm very anti-NDP in a lot of their things, but it doesn't mean I hate everything they stand for. There's probably over 50% I do like
Honestly,
what they're doing.
He's been winning me over since
He's
been.
I hate it. I went to his stupid debate.
Yeah.
Him, Heather Stephenson, and the liberal dude.
She's such a
Oh, dude, I'm like through and through conservative, and I left that debate and I called my business partner. I'm like, if I had to vote based on that debate, I would have chose Wob Canoe
all day.
And I'm like, and I hate NDP, a lot of their platform. I especially hate the liberal platform.
Yeah.
Like for the most, there's obviously pros in every concept, but I'm like, man, he's doing everything he says, and it pisses me off.
He seems to be a genuinely good guy, and I don't like that.
Yeah. But it's like obviously I'm more on the Trump side of things, but is there a lot of shit he does? Yeah, the guy's a bit of a retard overall.
It seems to be. He just seems to be like he's found a method that works, which is just being as zany and crazy as possible, and kind of diving into that.
Yeah. What a time to be alive.
Let's not get too much more into politics here, but let's talk more about what's coming up here on July 25th, which is this.
Okay, so that's tomorrow, man.
North of. Is that like? Can that be right? Like
that's what I'm saying. The 25th is tomorrow. I have a note on my phone that says party. Am I supposed to party tomorrow?
Do we
like Friday? I got to work. Holy shit! Speaking of my Friday, man, get to work on Friday. Bunch of shit. Well, the seminar got canceled Friday morning.
Right.
And that stuff just really stresses me out. And I'm trying to pivot and get things figured out. And so, shout out to Nathan Payton for navigating everything. He sat at the airport for 7 hours trying to get different flights and finally went home. After just surviving that hurricane where he had no power for 8 days and 100 years. Like, I give the guy props. New date, November 16th, by the way. Well, I'll announce it soon enough. But it was 9:30 in the morning. I'm just drinking coffee, and I was just, I would feel a little burnt out the last couple months. And I was just like, I can't today. I can't today.
Right.
And my secretary wasn't in. It's just me and Scott. And I have a mini fridge with some beverages.
For sure.
It was 9:30 in the morning. I just opened my coffee cup. Scott walks in, and I'm just dumping. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, man,
what the fuck does it look like I'm doing?
I'm having a drink.
Yeah.
So anyways, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we're all still sitting there having drinks at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I had different roofers shop.
Just one of those days.
Oh, it's one of those. Just nothing got done.
So I found a schedule here. We have the Women's Pro Show is on the 26th, which is the Friday.
Okay, that makes sense.
Vendredi, which I believe is Friday. Right?
Is it Vendredi?
Vendredi.
What's Lindy? Marty? Mekri?
Samedi is Saturday. That's the 27th.
Yeah,
That's the men's.
What's Sunday? I knew this.
Dimanche.
Oh yeah, Dimanche.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. I took French and I couldn't say much.
I when you said Lundy, I thought that was fucking Sunday.
Yeah, well, no, because how are you feeling today? Ça va très bien.
Yeah.
Or ça va mal.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got too.
That's all I got.
I made a little bit of an effort to learn some a little earlier this year. That lasted for
the Duolingo.
3 days. Yeah, and then the finals is on the Sunday, the 28th. So that's
let's touch on that lineup.
Unfucking real. Like it's it's funny because it's part of a bigger festival. It's part of like the Victoriaville rodeo there that they have and stuff. And it's like I hope that there are people who are traveling there to see this competition, because some of the names that you're going to see in this competition
will be on the world stage or have been already.
Already are. Yeah, like they're guys who are already, like, so if we look at let's start with the earlier day, which is the Women's Day. Yeah. So we have Jackie Oshevsky from Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
We have Jose De La Charrotier from Quebec.
Traps.
Yep. We got Gabby Dixon from the States. Sam Beliveau from now in New Brunswick. Or with, actually, I think she's from there. Yeah. Sarah Jean Voyer from Quebec. Steph Biz from Thunder Bay.
Big Biz.
Yep. Monica Quarles, who I'm not familiar with. From the States.
I don't know the name. Nope.
And Bailey. I always fuck up these like French last names. Deschênes. From Calgary. Calgary, Edmonton.
Good to see her. Yep.
Calgary. Yeah, she just had a big win at that. Yep. It was the King and Queen of the Klondike. That's what the show was.
Kid is. Klondike is. Kid is.
I think that's a different thing.
Is it? I suck.
I don't know.
Colt, correct me when I'm wrong.
Yeah,
put it on YouTube.
Someone put in the comments what.
Blow up the comments.
Yeah, put in the comments what we're getting wrong here.
Yeah.
And then my pick to win would be Ines Carrasquillo. She's the woman. Inez. I think it's Inez.
Inez.
She's a monster. She's like 6'2", and she just put up 375 overhead on a split jerk.
Yeah,
she's such a freak. And she became my favorite strong woman when she ate shit on the frame. You saw that?
Holy shit! Yeah.
And she just fucking kept competing. Like it was, she competed the next day, I believe, and then she competed.
Well, we were there and seen it.
Yeah,
Like we've seen her face plant.
The next week she competed, or 2 weeks, whatever it was later at the Arnold Expo UK. She's awesome.
And how bad to keep competing after you smash your face because you're holding your breath during events and the pressure's building in your head and just exploding everything even worse.
That was nuts.
That was crazy.
And then if we look, that's I mean that's an insanely stacked.
Corey exited the whole comp last year on half the injury of that.
Yeah, true. Corey as in, I don't believe he's ever finished competition.
I'm his coach. I shouldn't be saying that.
Shout out to Corey, who unfortunately injured his Achilles. Was that what it was?
No, it's actually turned out to be his ankle.
Oh.
And I don't know. He's got some secondary opinions because now they're just that poor guy. He's like, guys, I'm not a pussy, but they're just saying I sprained my ankle.
Really? Oh, hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, and he's like, it doesn't make sense because he had a lot of damage to his foot from a previous accident with ligaments and tendons.
Yeah.
And he's like, that was like a 3 out of 10 of pain. This is like an 8. He's like, I don't understand. So they're getting some different imaging done, but he can't even walk.
You know, if you sprain your ankle with fucking 800 pounds on your back, that's different than just falling off the sidewalk or something. You know,
he said a guy behind said looked like his ankle dislocated.
Wow.
But
that's crazy.
Poor guy.
But that women's one is insane. We got Jackie's actually going to be competing against our own owns Anna and Ariel.
Yeah.
At Strongest Woman in the West, like a week later.
Yeah, same day as Magnus.
Fuck, she's awesome. I would put that between, if I had to pick right now off the top of my head, I'd put that between probably Sam or Inez, I think.
Yeah.
To take that one, I think. Good events for Sam, I know that too. Okay, if we look at the men's side
because you have the pick of it, eh?
Yeah. If we have the men's side here, we got Spencer Remick, Wes Derwinski from Canada, Lucas Hatton, kind of honorary Manitoba strongman in my mind because he's come here and helped so many of us. Like so, okay. Shout out Lucas Hatton because he's still taking messages from people who are sending him questions.
Yeah, right.
About, I swear to God, and he's sending voice memos and sending responses and giving like long, thoughtful responses to people
for free.
Because he's just that kind of fucking guy. So that's what
cool.
When I say that he's sort of like an honorary Manitoba strongman, is that I think that, you know, we're all very partial to Tristan because he's one of our own Western boys here.
Who's Tristan?
Yeah, exactly. But Lucas Haddon's a guy who is quickly winning the hearts and minds of Manitoba strongmen and women by just being a fucking great
pretty
dude.
Freaking cool.
Just being awesome.
Yeah.
Fred Rayum, one of the strongest twins in the world, the Rayum twins. Joey Lavalley, Fred won Eastern Canada Strongest Man. Joey Lavalley got 3rd place in Eastern Canada Strongest Man.
Yeah.
He won last year. He's an amazing strongman. He's got a 300-pound circus dumbbell. There's a circus dumbbell event in this one. Simone Pratt, Canada Strongest Man. Jasper Haney. I'm not super familiar with him.
I don't know him.
I know that 3 guys got picked based on the Rainier Classic podium.
Okay, yeah.
I think that he's one of them.
Yeah.
Max Boudreau. We really want to see a big turnout for Max here. He's been a little slow out of the gate since his injury. He didn't do that well at Easterns.
No.
But you know, he's a guy where
you can't count him
out.
Yeah.
He just accepted an invitation to the Giants Live coming up, and it's great events for him there. So we want to see big things from Max, and we know that he's very capable of that. Zachary Price, another American guy. Colton Sloan, the world's strongest Cree. One of the later additions to the competition, and I would say very ready to hang in this competition.
Absolutely,
He showed a lot of the events at Westerns weren't great for him, and he still did really well. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So he's getting to the point where even when it's not that good of a competition for him,
he's well-rounded enough.
Yeah, he's getting there. Yeah. And Bryce Johnson, American guy. I'm sorry, I don't know much about him. Nick Wortham, same deal. Marcus Crowder, fucking monster. We know that from his WSM stuff. Like, just amazing. Tristan Hoth,
not familiar.
No, don't know.
Yeah.
James Jeffers, I've beaten him before. So it's just like an absolutely stellar lineup for that one. That's just like it's guys where if you're a fan of the sport, and you can get out to that competition, you're seeing either guys who are right now at the very top of the game, and we talk about Lucas Hatton, Wes Derwinski, Tristan Hoth, or there's guys who are just like that one step below, who are right about to break out.
How do you feel the pressure is for a guy?
Marcus Crowder.
Yeah. How do you feel that the pressure is not for a guy like Hoth?
High.
Because he's done good in the last couple of shows.
Yeah.
You got guys like Jeffers who are always at his heels. Or I think Jeffers has Jeffers beat him in the past?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's right there. Jeffers knows he's capable of being one of the top guys.
Absolutely.
And for Tristan, that maybe he's better under pressure. Obviously, his job, he would be good under pressure.
Sure. Yeah.
But man, there's a lot of guys. Anybody Canadian, because he got the invite to Worlds and he did so well at Worlds. Everybody's like, no, I want to be better than him. And
Right.
if I just prove it in one show, I'll
Sure.
get my shot.
Yeah, I think that there's a shift from when you're a guy like Tristan who he went to the Magnus show, kind of shocked the world there.
Yep.
With a big win, goes to SCL, shocks the world there with a big win, and then all of a sudden he gets this invite to to Worlds.
Yep.
And I think a lot of guys, a lot of people who don't know Tristan the way that we do, the way that Western Canada does, was kind of like, who the fuck's this guy? You know what I mean? Like, so he wins a couple shows here, and now he's going to Worlds. That's kind of crazy. But then he goes there and shows it's like, oh, never mind. Like, he's perfectly capable of being here, and he's beyond capable. He goes to the finals.
Lots of guys are like, it's a fluke.
Yeah, yeah.
But then he followed it up.
Yeah. So then he goes to Giants Live, does the exact same thing. People still kind of like, it's amazing that you can go to Worlds and do well, and people are still like, well, I don't know, he hasn't proved much to me yet. But then he goes to the Giants Live, does amazing there, 5th place again there. And now I would have to believe, as he enters into this like strongest man on earth, North America's strongest man, whatever else that he might have coming up that he gets invited to, I have to believe that it starts to shift a little bit from happy to be there to proving that it's not a fluke to now improving your standings a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that, and that's, it's kind of a crazy thing where, I mean, it's just your perspective changes as you get better at things, right? Where it's like, you know, imagine if you got to invite to the highest, like the tip top of the mountain in your sports. Well, then if you go there again next year, it's like, well, I was already there last year, so that specialness is gone. Yeah. And I have to do at least as well this year, otherwise it just doesn't.
Well,
feel
once
the
you
same.
start consistently beating the staples in the sport,
sure,
the ones who are always have been there for the last couple of years and they're always there, then you turn into one of them.
Right.
Like now now
absolutely. Yeah.
Your invites are there.
Yep.
You're
He's a guy where and as like I said, we Max has been coming back from an injury and just hasn't quite gotten the wheels back in motion yet. We need sort of that Canadian guy, whether it's Wes or whether it's Tristan, to be sort of like who's going to be that big dog. And then we also have we have our I guess our Western bias, we call it over here, but we have both the Rayum twins who are very capable of hanging with anybody in the world right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
We have Simone Pratt, who's Canada's strongest man, who I think kind of unfairly gets left out of the conversation a little bit, just because he's so Quebec centric.
Has Tristan faced the Rayum twins or Simone Pratt in the recent memory?
The last time that we faced all three of them at Farmstrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's and Tristan beat them all.
Yeah. A lot changes in a year.
And that's the thing. And you can't look at a competition where it's like, was Tristan training for that one? I don't know. Were the Rayum twins training for that one? I don't know. It's not like it's like a major mark on the calendar for some of those guys. For me, it was, because it's a big pro show and I'm excited to do it. Yeah. For those guys, maybe they weren't training as focused specifically on that show.
They might have had a bigger comp after. They're like, no, we'll use this as prep.
Right. And I think that it's and you look at that Simone Pratt, like I beat him in that competition, and he goes on to win CSM. Yeah. And I would not have beaten him at CSM. You know what I mean? So there's something to be said for, this is a regular season game. And sometimes you lose regular season games, and it's not a big deal.
No,
you know what I mean?
I've actually never looked that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that's the way they kind of have that perspective on it, especially for the Quebec guys who compete so much.
Yes.
Like they're just constantly competing. I remember like Dave Nollet told me he did like something crazy. It was like five or six in 5 or 6 weeks, something like that. Like he did like a competition every week for 5 or 6 weeks.
Well, when's strongest man on earth? Mid-August.
Yeah.
Like you look at Jeffers, he's going to do, or Colton, he's going to do this. Festival show. And then he's doing the Magnus, and then he's CSM. And then CSM, and then Strong. He's gonna have 4 massive comps in 6 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be.
That's disgusting.
It's really. We've got to a point now where there's like so much competing to do at that top level. If you're ready for it, that you got to kind of be choosy. Yeah. You can't do everything that you want to do. Like some of these guys, like say Jeffers, like he couldn't come and do the Gimli show because even if he won, he wouldn't be able to go do Magnus. He just wouldn't, because it would clash with OSG. Yep. And it's interesting where these guys have to be kind of like picky and choosy like that. Speaking of picky, we're going to be picking some shit off the ground with this grip competition that we're going to be doing here. Yeah. So we, what do we have for time here now?
Keep going. I'm just checking.
We, on November the 9th, we've made it official. We have a poster. We have a graphic, all that shit. Yeah. We are doing our first ever Manitoba grip sport competition. Iron Claw, right here in Iron Age. We've already had a great sign up for it. I think we have like.
Is that why you made it Iron Claw?
Yeah. I think we had like 16 people sign up. Not Devin Penn or anyone from Training Grounds, but that's fine.
Ah, we suck.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Whoa.
Off the air.
You said 16 people signed up?
I think so, right?
I don't know.
I know that I signed up, Gian signed up, Throne signed up, Dan signed up.
Only 8 people have paid.
Oh, well, then that's something we have to talk about with some of those people. But we have Manitoba's strongest man, Andrew Langelar. We have both of our strongman pros in me and Dan. We've got Gian, who is just there for the fun of it. Like that's there's really going to be a big a running the gamut.
Is there a grip strength coach out there? I know. I want to actually talk to Joel Dirks. I should.
Jed Johnson.
Maybe I should just sign up and aim for something. But
You should. Of course you're going to. You're going to do it.
yeah,
You have to.
but my grip sucks.
So does mine.
Like
Mine's horrible.
I can hold shit, but my actual like squeezing strength,
Yeah.
pathetic.
Oh, mine's terrible, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like grab a 25-pound plate, just falls on my fingers.
Dude, I zeroed the frame carry at Westerns last year.
Double overhead and 500-pound deadlifts, no problem.
No, man.
25-pound plate,
I
can't do it.
I can't do that either.
Yeah, but 25-pound plate, no,
Can't
can't pick it up.
But we have, and I'm trying to convince my dad to do it. Actually, he's
Oh shit, eh?
he's an old electrician. He might have some fun with it, I think. But we've had I've had people hit me up who are like, hey, like how's this gonna work? Like my girlfriend's interested in trying, or like just people who have never competed before. So I really urge people. We're not like we talked about before how national grip strength champion James Jeffers is going to be coming out to help us and really just also teach us how to run a grip competition. And he's just going to bring out what he brings out.
So you gonna be eating popcorn while holding implements?
He better be. That's something that you can teach him how to do.
I'll teach you my ways, Jeffers.
He's going to bring out whatever he's going to bring out, and I'm not going to know the events. I doubt that he'll really know the events before he goes and picks up the implements. So, but that's on purpose because what I really don't want is people like hyper focusing on this. I don't want it to be a thing where people are getting stressed or thinking that it's overly competitive. Like really, I want this to feel like kind of how when Thrones bought a whole bunch of grip stuff and left it here, we just had a day where we just sat all day and just fucked around with the grip stuff and just see who could do the most on this, who could do the most on that, and it was really really fun. And I think that's exactly what this is going to kind of feel like. You got to do it.
I'll do it. Whatever. I need. Yeah.
So I'm
gonna use the excuse I'm building my house all the time. I'm in Florida,
but it's 11 a.m. We've already had such a strong sign up for this that I think that we're gonna consider probably having it split between like a men and a women's thing because otherwise we're gonna be here all fucking. It'll be just two packed in here and be all fucking day. So we'll consider that. But in the meantime, get yourself signed up. It's $40 to register. It's gonna almost all go just to get Jeffers' truck here and giving him and Keelan a hotel for the night so they can do whatever they do in hotel rooms. I don't know.
What do they do?
Sleep, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jeffers eats in bed with stuff on his stomach. Probably.
I've never seen like inbreeding in person.
Oh my goodness gracious. From a fucking guy from St. Malo. Jeffers, he's from fucking St. Malo.
Jeffers, you know I love you.
So we're looking forward to that. And then the next weekend we have the new
Nathan Payton seminar.
Being rescheduled.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. But one thing I want
Which I have to correct. I know last week I called. I'm like, we had no MPA coaches, and actually Jackie Brasky from MPA signed up, and then she messaged. She's like, "Hey, I'm actually
shit.
Well, I'm friends. She's like, I am actually a certified coach and a certified level 1 nutritionist. I'm like, come on, like, leave it to me to not follow up on anything. So yeah,
Well, if there's one thing that we do on this podcast, it's say things without having it verified or without thinking.
Oh hell yeah, we
thinking
do.
It through all
but
the
even
way.
so, think of it because I was like, lots of people aren't valuing this thing, and my buddy Darren Mailing, Freak Fitness. Me and him stayed friends for years.
Very much an OG in the Manitoba
yes,
strongman
and has
scene.
a lot of IFB pros. He's still he's doing a lot of great stuff with doctors.
People
now.
associate him with bodybuilding, but he was one of the OG.
He was the first guy to pull 800 pounds at Westerns.
Yep.
And he messaged me, said, "Hey, he's like, sorry about your seminar getting canceled. This really sucks." He's like, I might possibly in the area at these and these times. I would find that valuable if I was in the area and I would pay for it.
Awesome.
And I'm like, oh, so a guy at that level sees it as value.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
So we have that, and then the weekend after that, we have something that I'll announce on here right now. It's still in the processes of like crossing the T's and dotting the I's. But if all goes according to plan, we'll be hosting a push-pull WRPF meet right here at Iron Age. Deadlift and bench only. Squatting's for girls. We don't squat around here.
Yeah. I could tear it back on a second attempt.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we can see a 500-pound bench from Scotty that day. That'd be fucking sweet. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be completely untested because
Test extra pussies.
come on, I'm not spending the money to fucking test you. I don't care if you're fucking clean or not. And
As long as you're clean, like as in your balls and your armpits, and you don't smell like shit.
As long as your equipment's clean, that's all I need to be clean. That's all I. That's
don't
all I
smell
care
like
about.
a nutsack.
Just we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna list some big numbers that day. It's gonna be a WRPS sanctioned meet, and registration will be going live in the next little while. Once, like I said, once we kind of hammer out the rest of the
Which is
details.
pretty cool. So it is a packed November. Oh, let's not. But you got the grip thing, Nathan Payton,
Yeah.
WRPF, which is
OSG.
perfect. OSG.
Yeah.
Holy cock.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's gonna be very, very busy.
You have 1 week in between that and OSG. All right.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very insane month on November where it went from being the season ending in August to all of a sudden we have a busier month than ever.
Yeah.
2
Well,
months later.
what date is the WRPF?
It would be the weekend after the Nathan Payton seminar, which I think might cross over with OSG.
No, OSG is December 7th.
Oh, it's December. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good there. I'm just wondering. So you'd be looking at November 23rd.
Yeah.
Wow, my birthday weekend.
Is that like Remembrance Day or something?
11th is Remembrance Day.
Oh yeah.
22.
11.
22nd is my birthday.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at that. We the season. This is the. You know, we said last year that with nationals it was like the season that never ended. Like it just kept like we had so much to think about constantly. This will be a very similar experience for us. Speaking of things that are coming up on the calendar, we have Deadlift for Dreams coming up. Not real far. It's
September 7th.
yeah, it's creeping right up. I'm gonna pull up our numbers here.
And today we're just shy of 19,000.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great. So we're almost a third of the way there. Then that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at the hard numbers here, we got 30%. Exactly.
Heck yeah.
$18,285.31.
I will.
Huge. Absolutely huge. Just raised by the lifting community, the people adjacent to the lifting community, the people that lifting people know.
Yep.
You know, businesses that support this amazing cause. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous to raise that kind of money and still have so much more that we want to do.
Yep.
I want to touch on that a little bit too because so this time last year when we were getting ready for Deadlift for Dreams, or sorry, not this time last year, but like at Deadlift for Dreams last year, the biggest pull of that day was me with 777 pounds.
Yeah.
I think it's entirely possible that Thrones will open with a heavier weight
Then you finish.
than the heaviest weight that I finished with last time. The deadlifts in Manitoba are fucking flying.
Yeah.
Largely because of Thrones.
Yep.
the stuff that he's putting up. Because he was giving me shit because we did a whole episode that was based around Pat doing a fucking.
And we gave him nothing?
And then we didn't talk about anything else to do with deadlift.
He runs a great live stream.
Yeah.
Just give him
But
no credit.
You know, in our defense, it was a slow news day, the one that we talked about, Pat,
Yeah.
who did a deadlift.
And it's kind of like when Eddie Hall pulled the first 500 kilogram.
Yeah, exactly. It's
No one
like,
cares
yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
People have done it.
Yeah. Thrones be
So-
the first 900. We'll give you a whole episode.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put your smiling face as the thumbnail. So
Yeah.
what we're looking at right now is Pat, who pulled 800 in a suit, which again I've said before that I don't think he got very much out of that suit.
No.
Like, it was pretty easy for him to get down to the bar.
Yeah.
I think that he could have pulled it without a suit that day if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's been saying that his knee has still been giving him problems, so I really want to see him fix that. I'd love to see him pull at Deadlift for Dreams, but it doesn't sound like he doesn't seem to be super hopeful that's going to be the case, so we'll see. But what we're going to be looking at is some very big numbers we're going to be looking at a lot of numbers that like, I think that Dan's going to be looking for a new number that day probably.
Yeah, I would think so.
He hit the 750 at Westerns on the big crazy bar. So I think that he'll probably be looking for just like a hair more than that on like a deadlift bar, which would be awesome. I would like to hit my top end goal is that I want to hit the Manitoba record, which is 826. Like I want to beat that and get that record. That's Dom Leontis' record from almost 10 years ago now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's a 9-year-old record. So I want to beat that. we would have like you ref that one, so it's like an official like Strongman Manitoba thing.
Yep.
And I know that Thrones, like, I don't know if how carefully people follow Thrones on Instagram or whatever, but he hit like an 800-pound pause deadlift.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He hit 850. He's hit 815, I think, is the best he's hit, just whatever. So, and this is just like in the gym, on a whim, feeling good that day.
Not peaking.
No. So I don't think it's entirely crazy that we see him get very close to that 850 number.
Yep.
And if you talk to him, he might even say higher. I don't know, because he's just putting together crazy shit. He'll be the first guy in Manitoba to hit 900. I'm pretty confident in that. Langelar's a guy who's going to put up a pretty big number. I think he's going to try to close the gap to 800. He was a guy who hit 700 very recently, and now he's in the mid to high 3/4 700.
Yep.
I think that being in strongman is going to help him.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have anybody pushing his deadlift like that.
Not in powerlifting.
Powerlifting.
No.
Whereas now he's gonna kind of have to get to 800 to be competitive now.
Yeah.
You know, and Dan is in the same boat where he's closing that gap, and Dan's a slow and steady kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's always improving. He's always getting better. And it's just like this like slow chugging progress.
He's the epitome of Adam Sandler's medium pace song.
Absolutely, yeah, medium pace, yes. So we're all very excited for that, and it's gonna be a huge day. And like I said, like the big, I say winning. There was no winning or losing. Everyone was a winner, but the biggest number was 777. Yeah, the biggest number was 777, and I wouldn't be shocked at all if Thrones opened with
780, just despite
me. Yeah, for sure. I hope he does. So with that, we're gonna put.
We got to hit our last sponsor.
Hit our last sponsor. God,
Bemer.
Damn, I'm not
I was gonna hit it early in the episode.
I'm not good at the sponsorship thing.
So I suck too. You're supposed to be better at the promotion thing.
I know. Please tell us about
Bemer, Manitoba. Shout out to our listeners who have already followed her and looked into it some more. Shoot us some questions on it. Don't be scared to ask questions about this machine, because it's a lot of money, and people are like, it's witchcraft or voodoo shit, right? It's sending out microfrequencies, whatever it is, for getting more circulation to the body. And everyone's like, it doesn't sound like it works. But I'm telling you guys, I use it, and it works. I use it on my dog. I use it on Morgan.
That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah, Morgan used it for arthritis, and it helps. We've used it on a couple different avenues for injuries and illnesses that it has helped. If you ever have a question, I can shoot me a private message, and I can give you some feedback on some ailments that have been fixed. So shout out to Crystal, Bemer, Manitoba. Shoot us some messages, ask some questions, look into the machine. It's a great machine. They even rent it out, actually, too.
Oh, there you go.
They have a couple they rent out.
That's pretty cool.
So if you want to try it for a week, you can.
That's great.
Yeah.
So that's a huge opportunity if you want to try it out.
Yep. On that note,
I believe my client just knocked on the door here, so we are going to wrap it there. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see everybody at we got another one before the Magnus competition, but we will see you when we see you.